Where is the runner's high? We run endlessly to reach the top, the winning ribbon of success. How tired we must be, wearing ourselves out because they say we must. And how tired we must be of hearing the buzzing of false promises in our atmosphere. If hard work really does pay off, why are so many of us still trying to catch our breath? Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the Sweet Madness Podcast, where we talk about everything sweet and everything mad and everything in between. I hope you guys are doing great today and that poem didn't depress you too much. So with me today, I have a guest. It's the last guest of the season. And my guest is the co-founder, editor-in-chief, and president of The Scene magazine, as well as being a poet, writer, and performer based on Long Island, New York. He lives in Bayshore with his cat, Juno. His daughter, Raquel, lives in northern New Jersey. Writing is very much a compulsion for him, something he has been involved in since he was a teenager. And he believes poetry is a unique art in that it can be experienced both on the page and on the stage, and wants to give as many poets as possible a chance to engage with their communities at open mics and hold their published work in their hands. That's a great feeling. Having moved around a lot in his early years, he really appreciates what the entire island has to offer and hopes to see a cross-county transference of art and poetry. Oh, that would be beautiful. His own work focuses on living a neurodivergent life. In it, he processes the many years he lived undiagnosed. His lyrical and rhythmic style, I've seen him perform, he's amazing, combined with his tumbling and musical verse, entertains as much as it disarms as he tackles topics like trauma and mental illness. Everyone, please give me a hand or a smile or something to help me welcome MT Pariti to the Sweet Madness Podcast. You're all smiling or clapping mentally if you're in the car. Yay!
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor. I'm very excited to be here.
Yay, me too. This is awesome. I've seen MT perform. He is really just a wonder. His brain is amazing. And before we continue, I just want to say that the poem that I read before was the poem tidbit of the day, and that is from my latest collection, Poems of Madness, Volume 1, available now on Amazon. Or I prefer you go to my website because you get a personalized letter with it, www.amandamontoni.com. And anyway, back to MT. So MT, as you know, there are questions that I ask every single guest that appears here on the Sweet Madness Podcast. First of all, what does Sweet Madness mean to you?
You know, I had to think about this a lot because I had a relationship with madness before I had a relationship with sweetness.
Okay.
And that's why, like you mentioned in my bio, a lot of my writing and my early writing was very focused on processing my mental illness. And it took a while and it took a lot of interventions to find the balance that I was able to eventually achieve some sweetness out of. You know, because I just want to say this, because I hear a lot of people, I've heard this a few times here and there, and I just want to say poetry is not therapy. It's a great tool in your toolbox for getting your head right, but it isn't a substitute.
Right.
So, but once I was able to get past that and get to the sweetness of the badness, then it became what I was talking about earlier, the audacity to believe you can make a difference. That's the sweet madness that I tap into when I write, when I create, when I lead, whatever it is. It's this audacious belief that maybe I can make a difference and it will matter. You know, and that creates a sense of purpose.
Yeah, definitely. Have you experienced instances where you felt that it does matter, that it did matter, that it continues to matter?
Absolutely. I mean, I just recently got this amazing opportunity through Engage Long Island to be the keynote poet at the No Kings rally in Mineola on October 18th, which was incredible. Over 3,000 people and 3 speakers and a poet. and it was just really amazing to be able to let the arts, you know, that they gave space for the arts to be a part of the movement and the resistance, because the arts and poetry always have been a part of resistance and resistance movements. So it was just such an honor. And you did it. I'll do it. You know, I put out a book, Rhyme and Resistance. It's not actually available anywhere than through my DMs. And I'm sold out currently. I need to do another print, which is a good sign. But yes, that was that. And then, of course, I can't not touch on just the impact that the scene has made.
Oh, yeah. Tell us more about the scene.
Absolutely. So, the scene is a poetry and art magazine, an open mic magazine that highlights and connects the vibrant but independent open mic scene around now all of New York City and Long Island. We used to say from the bridges to the forks, which was just Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, Suffolk, and now we say from the ferries to the forks, which includes all of New York City, which we've actually broken up into 5 other areas, which are the Bronx, Harlem, Manhattan Midtown, the Lower East Side, and Staten Island.
Wow.
So, and the sweet madness of that was, again, that audacity. I mean, I remember the moment I heard the questions in my head. Why not me? Why not now?
Yeah.
And then I went for it. And that was that audacity to believe. And it was madness. And it's still madness. The fact that I'm still doing it 2.5 years later, and it's all volunteer, and we're making it happen month to month, and we're keeping it going. But you know, there's a madness and a passion to it. And so yeah, there's a lot of sweet madness involved in the scene.
What are some of the mad moments or struggles that you've had to hurdle, but also to balance that out, what have been really sweet moments? Can you recall any?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the scene is very much a family. You know, the team are my best friends. I don't know what came first. The chicken or the egg in this scenario, but we've become best friends, so much so that, like, Steps, for example, I'm Steps' daughter's godfather. He gave me a goddaughter.
Oh.
I mean, that's incredible, and that's from the relationship I built with him since knowing him through the poetry scene and just developing a relationship. And that's how I am with Steven and Q and Paula and the whole team. We're just great friends who really believe in the same vision. And but what that means is we're there for each other when things get tough too. And things do get tough for us individually and collectively. You know, so when we have a very neurodivergent team, you know, I lead the way with, you know, my own neurodivergence, and then the team it trickles down through the team. My co-founder has schizoaffective disorder. He's very open about it, and he had an episode while we were running the scene, and it was the first month we couldn't produce a magazine. But we rolled with it, and the community rolled with it, and it was and everyone was so understanding. And then when he came out of the hospital, he lived with me for a month, and then he got his own place, and so we've all the struggles. We've been able to do them all and get through them all together.
That's beautiful.
None of us have done this alone, and I haven't done this alone, and none of us get through life alone. And you know, it brings a tear to my eye every time I think about all the support that I have, that buoys me so that I can do the things that I do. That's
beautiful. You said the key word, community, but you guys are very accepting of each other as individuals, which is just beautiful. And it pours through in the magazine. It pours through when you guys go to open mics. Like, you guys are not only your own community, but you branch out and you put that community forward. And for anybody out there listening, like thinking or watching, hi YouTube, if anybody out there like feels alone, and I know I have, and I have for a very long time. And actually, one of the things that really brought me back to the purpose that you were talking about and the audacity was just going to one open mic. And it opened up so many doors. It's how I met you. It's how I met Paula and Robert, who were previous guests, how I met Greg, who was a previous guest. It's just a whole other branch of community that I didn't, not that I knew I was missing something, but then having found this community, like, oh, something clicked. And all it took was just to take a chance and step into the door. And it just takes one person to do that. Paula was my high school guidance counselor. And, you know, she's retired since then. But, you know, we stayed connected after I graduated on Facebook and everything. Plus, because I worked at my high school after I graduated for directing musicals and choreographing musicals.
Oh, cool.
And so she came one day, like the last show I directed there, and like popped up in rehearsal one day. She was like, I thought I heard your voice. And I remember I freaked out. The students were like, what is going on? Why are you freaking out about seeing Miss Kersey? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But I'm like, you don't understand. And since then, like, we've just connected. And that was, I think, 6 years after I graduated high school. I graduated college at that point. But it just takes one person to say, hey, come join us. And that's all it takes. And I feel like everybody thinks that's a very hard thing to do when it's, I found, the easiest thing in the world.
It's in this, and in particular in this community, I think you find it a lot more and a lot more naturally because of what is bringing us all together, which is art and poetry. And art and poetry are avenues to empathy. And so when someone is up there spilling their heart out, you know, and another person is hearing that and they're thinking to themselves, "Oh my God, me too. I'm not the only one. Someone else has been through that or goes through that or has overcome that, and I'm not as alone as I thought I was." And then that naturally develops community, you know, and I've heard it said before. You know, love community, destroy it. Love people, create it. It's not about community, the concept. It's about the people.
Yes.
You know, and like you said, caring for individuals on individual levels. You know, and it not being about you know. It's just as long as it's about loving people and putting people first. The golden rule is the golden rule.
Yeah.
You know, I've no matter for me, it's just I just do to others what I would have them do to me. You know, I recently wrote a poem that starts off, "Wouldn't do what my enemies have done to me." It's called Role Models.
Oh.
And it's, my enemies are not my role models. Wouldn't do what they've done to me. And that's how it starts. And that's another way of looking at the golden rule. It's like you know, and because a lot of people think, you know, do it before they do it to you. I've heard that, you know, or like all sorts of things. But no, it's just, and doing that, like being a good friend is how I got good friends.
Yep.
You know, and that's just the way it's worked. So, you know, I love it.
It's beautiful. Would you say that part of that is part of your Sweet Madness story? Which Sweet Madness story do you have to share with us today?
Oh, man. What Sweet Madness story do I have? I mean, most of these have been Sweet Madness. These have kind of all been Sweet Madness stories. But I would say one of my personal Sweet Madness stories would be Honestly, I think I do it all the time. And it's the alchemy of turning pain into poetry. You know, and that alone is audacity to believe I can make a difference, because maybe someone can connect. You know, maybe someone can relate, or it can inspire. You know, that's the one word definition for Sweet Madness can be inspiration.
I love that.
You know, when you're breathed into, inspired, you know, you can't help but exhale that breath. You can only hold it for so long, and you know, it's like, my name is empty. Okay, and it's a paradox, you know. And for me, it really comes from the Taoist concept of the empty cup. The empty cup is the useful cup, because it can be poured into. But once poured into, it needs to pour out. Otherwise, it'll be stagnant. Right? So now I'm in this perpetual cycle of being poured into so I can pour out, being poured into so I can pour out. And so I stay empty and stay full. I'm like Schrodinger's cup. I
love this. And I love this so much. You have no idea.
It's this amazing miracle. It's magical how it happens that I have enough. I keep having enough. I keep pouring out, and there's enough. There's more for me left over, and it sustains me. It sustains me.
Wow, I love that metaphor. Like, now I'm gonna go and like think about my own life that way. That was very, very, very cool. Oh, you're welcome. Going back to, you blanketed like poetry is not therapy. I have my own personal therapy journey, and poetry has been a part of that. So I totally understand where you're coming from. It is not the therapy itself, because when you're going through like a therapizing state, right? A lot of sessions with my therapist are like, hey, what's a tool you can use? Like you said, what's a tool you can use to get some of this out and to kind of understand what's going on? I did used to use writing as therapy and dance as therapy. But really, having gone through therapy and still currently in therapy, I realized that wasn't the therapy. It was just, the perspective was I was seeing it as instead, so I was using it kind of as like a Band-Aid.
Well, I'll say this, therapy, if you go to therapy, they will probably advise you to dance and write. Yes. Yes. Because they accomplish so much of what therapy is trying to get to occur. You know, they give you an emotional release that is healthy and non-destructive. And especially with writing, I do love to dance. Dance has always been a big part of my life. In my family, my mother loved to dance, and we were always the dancers at the family things. And, so anyway, but writing for me is, I understand that, you know, it is a useful tool and whatnot, like, but what it does is it accomplishes so much. And for me, when I write, when I put it down on the page, writing is mindfulness 101. It's the easiest entry into mindfulness, because you need to know what's in your mind to write it down. So you start there, right? And now, once you've written it down, you have distance from it. Better on the page than in my head. And now it's on the page, and now I'm not the thought anymore. I'm looking at the thought. I'm the thinker of the thought. And I no longer have to react to it. I can respond instead. And so that is cognitive behavioral therapy.
That is CBT.
You know?
Yes.
But it's it's a tool that, is useful in getting to a more balanced state. I consider writing to be a pillar of mine. For me, my pillars are, psychiatry, medication. I finally pulled the trigger on that one. That was a game changer. Weekly therapy sessions, talk therapy. My writing and artistic outlets, and my support system, my family and friends. And like I said earlier, that they are such an important part of what keeps me balanced and able to do the things that I do today. Because I only started doing this a couple of years ago, and it was only a few years before that I got diagnosed bipolar. And so that was, and then, so it took me some time to find the right cocktail, to get the right things together. But once I did, and I was able to finally tap into what was always there, the sweet part of my madness. And yeah.
Love it. I remember we had this sort of ties in. What I'm thinking is like you've gone through, so therapy in a way is sort of like reinvention, right? Or diving deeper into who you are and letting that come out. And it can be both. So I know for me, it was. I accepted things about myself that I was always in denial of, but in doing so, I became a new version of myself. Do you have any thoughts about that for our listeners who may feel like they need to be a certain way or having trouble accepting certain things about themselves and don't know what steps to take?
Sure. Well, for starters, I would say be honest with your therapist. There, you can lie to you. You can tell them whatever you want.
Yeah.
And so you really got to be honest and trust them. You need someone you can trust. You really need someone you can trust, because I needed someone I trusted to speak into my life, to tell me. For me, it was mostly lies I believed, lies I grew up believing about myself, about the world around me, and all those sorts of things. So I needed someone that I trusted, that I thought and believed had my best interests at heart, to teach me how to hear in my own head the voice that has my best interests at heart. I needed someone to show me how that's done and teach me discernment. And so I had to say, these are the thoughts that are coming through. And they were able to say, well, this, and this one are probably not great for you. We're going to hurt you in some way, or people around you. And this, and this, that might be a nice plan of action or a good alternative. And since then, now I call it my board of directors. It's the voices, in all quotes, for you guys there. The voices, they don't go away. They can't, But again, like I said, I'm the thinker, not the thought. So I've put someone else in charge. Someone else is CEO of the board, and then everyone gets their 3 minutes. I run it almost like an open mic.
I love this so much.
No, I really do. I run my
It's
internal, conversations and I'm like, all right, you get your 3 minutes, say what you got to say, and then we'll move on. And sometimes it's basically comedy, like especially when when the rough stuff comes, I get to laugh at it. I'm like, oh my God,
that's a beautiful place to be.
Wow, I can't believe I thought that. That's hilarious. Oh, you're so funny. Look at you. Look at you, little guy. Look at you, little guy, with your stupid little idea. Get out of here.
That's such a good place to get to.
Oh yeah, no, I am in the best place I've been in my life.
That's beautiful.
I'm the most balanced and most activated, and not manic. which I've cleared with my therapist, and I keep, we keep checking in. No, this is really just me living in my excellence and potential.
It shows.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's beautiful. And what you've done with the scene and being a keynote speaker at a No Kings protest amongst all of these non-artistic people, that's a big honor.
It really was.
It's a big honor. It shows. All of this ties sort of into your journey with the scene and the purpose and all of that. That's what I like to kind of define Sweet Madness as. It's just the all-encompassing variables of life coming together. Because not all of it's like one of my friends always say, I had to go through ABC to get to XYZ, but really we're all still in the middle of the alphabet if we're still alive, right?
Sure.
Things are always going to change. Different things are going to come up. So maybe you start another version of the alphabet after that certain thing I consider like my staple changing point. And it ties into everything. And I feel like a lot of us forget that and we get stuck in a black and white way of thinking. And you are the embodiment of like, hey, no, all of this stuff happens at the same time.
It's a both end world, people.
Yep.
It's not either or, it's both ends.
It's both ends. It's beautiful. And then, the audacity to, which is the word that you use after that? To create?
To believe you can make a difference.
To believe you can make a difference. I think of my audacity as my audacity to create. I have the audacity to create. Yeah.
And to create is to believe you can make a difference.
Yep. Because they go hand in hand.
You're putting
we're
something
back
new
to.
into the world. Mm-hmm. And therefore, you've literally made a difference just by doing that because it didn't exist before.
Yeah. And the small things do add up. And the small things do inspire change.
And it's small incremental steps and changes. I mean, I am a 180 from where I've been, but I did not make a 180. I made a 0.5 degree shift, then a 2 degree shift. Then, you know what I mean? And I eventually got around to a new trajectory and alignment. I really feel like a lot of this is alignment and convergence, just the right people, right place, right time, and the right moment to say to pull the trigger and say now's the time.
Now is the time.
Now is the time.
Speaking of that audacity to create. And the audacity to make a difference. Do you have something that you would like to read us?
Ooh, yes. Well, okay, so I don't know. Do I get to do, how many do you want? Because I could do as many as you want. But I wanted to do one related to what you read.
Okay.
But then I do have one that, I just want to put out into the world.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is that all right?
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
So, I'll do the one that relates to yours first.
Okay.
It is called As Above, So Below.
As above, so below. Everybody, as above, so below.
On the heels of inspiration, chewing on its dust, souls need replacing, terrain's been too rough. No, I'm not complaining. I'm used to too much. Sometimes like I'm gaining, most times out of touch. I know what it takes to not make the mark. I forgot to aim and missed from the start. I'm not casting blame, except at my heart. The name of the game is getting torn apart. And that's not the same as dearly departed. I live through the shame. My heart has been hardened. Callous and tough, these habits rebuff every time that I try to get by as enough. Don't know why, don't know what, so damn dry, fill my cup. In a sigh, I reply to the sky with a but. But I gave it my all, and my eyes never shut. Won't believe what I saw when I finally looked up. When I finally looked in, As above, so below. But I do not see sin in the cosmic light show. Where did we begin? Perhaps we'll never know. Wouldn't do it again. It's the end of ego. It's the end of the self and the start of something else, a collective type of consciousness that gets us out of hell, that brings us to a place where the symmetry of face ain't the measure of your beauty, where you cannot be replaced, where no matter what you chased, be it truth or inspiration, will be given out in spades with the sound of jubilation. Poem.
Claps, snaps,
Thank
all
you.
the cheers. That was, wow. This is why we like NT so much here at the Sweet Madness podcast and open mics.
Thank you.
Yeah, your voice is just, and there's so much depth to your poetry, but the way you present it is so like, yeah, I'm with this. It's like hearing a pop song that has a great upbeat, and then you listen to the lyrics and they're so depressive.
Oh, you mean like the Beach Boys or like Hey Ya from Outkast?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get you. Absolutely. That's exactly what I try to do. That's exactly how it comes out.
It's great.
And if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, so this also really comes back to the madness part. Because what got me on the road to what got me on my mental health journey was the loss of my mother in 2020. And that was to complications related to her own mental illness.
Okay.
Which is a euphemism, of course. But it opened my eyes and showed me I was the most like her of the siblings, and I was on the closest to the same journey. And it's really one of the things that helped me get the help I needed. But my mother, I got to see her in a new light after my own journey, and I wrote this in honor of her. And it's also, I mean, this is being recorded in October, but I don't know when it'll be aired, but it's her birthday month, October 9th. So this is called Radio Rituals. And it's not my usual style. Flipping through the stations, trying to find familiar sounds, searching for that magic music that brings you back to life. I set a ritual in motion, a conjuring, and wade through the waves that emanate from the radio. There is a sudden swell. Backflow, updraft, riptide. The ocean draws me in, pulls the rug right out from under. Couldn't fight it if I tried, and I'm not trying. Ragdoll rolling, spread out wide, starfish, till I'm spit back out, soaked and stumbling on your sandy shores. It worked. But you wound up being more than the ocean, and I wound up being less than prepared. Dewdrop, raindrop, teardrop. Just when I thought it was over, I see you dancing in beams of light. Rainbow. Salty prisms blur my vision of the present for sights of the past. And just like the ocean, you're more than the light. You're its source, scattered about above. Fusion, fission, collisions. Bright bursts twinkle, guiding this wayward wanderer back to where it all began. Your end. A final blaze of glory casts new shades and shadows on all the moments of your life. Reflecting and refracting, fanning out into all the colors of you. Hot or cold. Settling in now, I stop assuming and let you teach me what you tried to all along. That you were so ultraviolet when you weren't infrared. The stars will still shine long after they are dead. Time won't stop for no one, but it'll slow and can be sped. The music's always playing, and it's all just in your head. Oh, man. Sorry.
It's okay. It's
Ooh,
okay.
it's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. For anybody just listening, that was, I have no words.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's in honor of her. Joyce.
Well, Joyce, you're with us today. Cried out. I don't know if I have a tissue.
Okay, I don't need a tissue.
Okay.
I'm good.
You're good.
I wear a bride.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Thank you, MT. And thank you for your vulnerability with that one, and honoring your mom here. That really, truly was touching. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet madness.
Sweet madness. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any last words you would like to say or things to talk about to our listeners out there?
I just want to say that it's possible. There is another side to this. You don't have to always be worrying about the other shoe dropping. Because this too shall pass isn't just about getting through the hard times. It's about cherishing the good. When it's here, in the moment, be here now. That's it. I
needed that. I definitely needed that reminder. Thank you. Thank you, MT. Where can people follow you or the scene and all of that fun stuff?
Yes, follow the scene first at thescene.life. That's on Instagram, and our website is also thescene.life. You can go there to sign up for a free email newsletter that goes out every Monday that has a calendar of open mics on it for all of New York City and Long Island. And then you can find me on Instagram at MT, the initials, Pariti, Pariti. And that's pretty much it.
And how much are copies of The Scene magazine?
The Scene is only $5.
$5? That's basically free.
Right? Yeah.
Sorry, that's an inside thing. If you ever showed up to an open mic on Long Island that The Scene was at, we say that every single time. It's not just a plug for the video or podcast episode here. This really happens in real life.
It really does happen.
Collectively, as a group, we all shout it.
It's so fun.
It's so fun. I think maybe this is the second time I mentioned that here. I think Greg and I highlighted that on our episode.
That's funny.
If this is the first time and I stand corrected, then I stand corrected. You witness it here. Yes, The Scene is $5, and
you can buy
really
them
cool.
online or in person, but you can actually buy them online at thescene.life, the website. Mm-hmm. We are sold out of many copies, but you can get a yearly subscription. You can purchase a yearly subscription on our website as well. That's 12 copies for the year, but you're only going to be buying 10, so you get 2 free.
Oh, great.
And you get them mailed to you every month.
Beautiful. And then you also feature like artists.
Every month is a different. I mean, I don't know how much time you want me to talk about. I could talk about the magazine because
Go ahead.
So for the magazine, we feature a different visual artist every month. So the cover is always different, and the visual artist gets a couple of other inserts of their art and a 200-word artist statement. Then we print 11 pages of all local poetry submitted to us from the community. Right in the middle is our interview with a local open mic host or curator so that we shine a light on the people who are bringing art to the front lines of community engagement. Of course, we have a photo spread so that you get a feel for their vibe, more poetry, and then a book review for, again, a local poet's published book. We have some sponsorship opportunities for anyone interested, putting some ads in there. And then, of course, the coup de grace, our calendar of open mics for all of New York City and Long Island for the month. And that's
Beautiful.
every month, and that's what's only $5. And that's a lot for a little.
That is a lot for a little. And I personally look at that email every Monday.
Thank you.
It's great. I love it. And if anybody out there, if you're going through something and you're not sure how to put it into words and do the therapy step, do utilize the tool of writing it out, you can always sign up and fill out a form. That's the boring part, but I write personalized poems for you guys. Tell me a story. It does not go anywhere. It does not get published anywhere. This is just for you. Sometimes I handwrite it for you if you so prefer on nice stationery, and I make my handwriting all pretty. Sometimes I go through like writing it over like 10 times. It's really bad. I don't like any blemishes on it. It drives me nuts. But that is always there for you guys. And stay tuned to the next episode because we're going to be announcing a new merch item. Yeah, new merch item. We have the beanie, the tote bag, the t-shirt, and some stickers on the Amanda Montoni website right now if you would like to grab those, but a new item is coming. So excited. It's my favorite one. It's the first one I made, but I purposely held it for myself for a while. Yeah, just make sure to subscribe to the Sweet Madness newsletter. I drop a newsletter into your inbox every single Friday. It could be anything because life and Sweet Madness can absolutely be anything as well. But normally there's some encouragement there for you guys to get through the week. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, MT.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Big episode here at the Sweet Madness podcast. It might be my favorite one. Don't tell anybody else.
Sure you say that to all you.
You guys have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.